Hi everyone. I was spending some time here on this rainy day playing with some celebration items, and I thought, why don't I just play with them right with you? So this is impromptu, just jumping on board just because. So right now it is a wonderful time. We have 3 catalogs that are active. So this one is our main catalog, the annual catalog, and it began the beginning of May, and it is chock full of all kinds of wonderful things. Then these two, the mini catalog and the celebration catalog, so they look like this, they just began yesterday. So they play so well together. They interact, coordinate all kinds of things, because Stampin' Up just excels at coordination. So I was playing with some things from Sale-A-Bration instead of being outside in the rain, and then I thought, why don't I just do it with you? So we're going to put these to the side. And if you do not have any of these catalogs and live in Canada, I'd love to give them to you. So just contact me. Or if you would prefer to just view them online, remember you can go to my website and see the catalogs there at any time. So they're always handy dandy right there. So there's tons of stuff in Sale-A-Bration. I'm not going to walk through Sale-A-Bration with you right now. Hi Sue, welcome. So glad you're on here. I'm not just talking into cyberspace. Thank you. I hope you're not at the lake. It's be a little wet out there right now. What we're going to do right today is play with actually 3 items from here. It started out, I was going to play with this designer paper. So it coordinates with the rings. You can see this is because I write in my catalogs, this is my catalog. But on page 62 of this catalog, so let's find page 62. This paper coordinates with this bundle right here. So this is on my wish list. I don't have it yet, but you can make those little tree cookies, that kind of thing. The stamps, look at that, would make a great housewarming. There's get well soon, happy anniversary, thinking of you, Merry Christmas. So it covers all kinds of things, but we're going to concentrate. We're not using that bundle, but we are going to be using this designer paper. So let me show that to you first off. This designer paper, so there's one that has flowers on it, and then on the back we've got this nice plaid, and then we've got this one here, and this is the one we're going to play with today. And then on the back we have this. So it's got sort of that variegated color. I just love this one too. Love the style of art and the birds and everything on there. And then, ooh, I like that as well. Reminds me a little bit of the New Horizons paper. And then we've got this. So if you don't have the stamp set, you could easily cut just a square out of the house and make something with a house there. Ooh, look at those medallions and the colors. So we've got, I think, Mint Macaron and Night of Navy and Evening Oh, no. I think this is my favorite. I don't know. You'll have to tell me what your favorite side of the paper is. These are the little toadstools. It's got leaves on it. And then we've got the tree cookies on this side and like that. And then these look a bit like poinsettias, but you likely could use them for other things too. And then the trees here. So, I mean, you've got like these would be great on masculine cards, that kind of thing. So you really cover a lot of occasions. So the colors that coordinate with this paper, I haven't had a chance to cut my little swatches, are Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Mint Macaron, Night of Navy, Parakeet Party, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Soft Suede. So if you haven't dusted off some of those colors recently, this might be fun paper to give it a whirl. So I'm going to put this to the side and then talk a little bit about what else I'm going to play with. I'm also going to be playing with this stamp set right here. So this is one that didn't really catch my eye right off, but I've had a little bit of fun with it, and this month is National Watercoloring Month, and so this works perfectly for that. I played with these cards and envelopes on my last Facebook Live, so you've seen those. And we're also going to play with this stamp set here. Look at all the combinations of words there. So the other two are free with a $60 order. This is free with a $120 order. So, and you can get as many as you want. You can see tons of examples here. I actually made myself some notes. I'll show that another time. So tons of combinations here with these words. So those are the 3 celebration items I'm using. So, and this, I just dropped something there. I don't know what I dropped, but anyway. So I've started out with the designer paper, and I wanted to use this stamp from this one here. So I just thought this stamp kind of went with these leaves. That was my thinking anyway. So so then what colors are involved here? So the colors, I started to bring in swatches of the different colors. And so here's Poppy Parade, Night of Navy, Crushed Curry, Mint Macaron, and Evening Evergreen. And you can see how, whoops, those colors all look good. So for me, the hardest thing is always, what color am I going to work with? And I hummed and hawed and fiddled around a little bit, and then decided to go with the Crushed Curry. And I'm also going to use some soft suede. So we'll bring that in. So I've got using Crushed Curry for my card base. Let's see here. So Crushed Curry, it's going to be something like that. And then I thought, well, I don't know. I'm going to do my focal point first and then design the rest of the card. So I decided I said that I was going to use this. So decided I might as well take advantage of World Watercolor Month. And I'm bringing in the fluid watercolor paper. And you might not know where this is in the catalog. So let me just grab the catalog for you. It is, I've got it written down, page 140. So it's easy to miss. So on the page that says wrap it up here you've got your basic cardstock. Here's your shimmery white. Here are your window sheets. Here's your fluid 100 watercolor paper. And here's your vellum. So this is the watercolor paper here. Now, sometimes I try watercoloring on other papers as well, but watercolor paper just is that much nicer to do it on. So let's bring that in, and I am going to use my Deckled Rectangle frames with that. So I'm going to use this one here. So if you look at it, it is, if you're starting at the smallest, 1, 2, it's the third one, the third smallest. So let's tuck those in so I don't lose any. Well, there we go. And we'll cut this on the Stampin' Cut with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Bring it in. Now, when you're putting dies like this that have long straight edges through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, remember to kind of angle them so the whole edge isn't going into the machine at the same time, if possible. It's easier on your machine and you get a better cut. So I'm just going to angle it a bit like that and run it through. And now I have my shape. Get this out of the way. It takes up the whole desk when I'm on the camera. There we go. So here we have it right here. So let's bring in some scrap paper to stamp on. Like that. And we'll bring in the stamp. And I'm going to stamp in soft suede. Usually when I watercolor, I use Stays-On, but I was experimenting a little bit and I think I got away with soft suede. So we'll give it another try. And I'm going to stamp this towards the top of this rectangle, just like that. Now watercolor paper, I like to give it a moment to transfer. And then I'm going to bring in the words you are. So these are the words here, and I could have done whatever, but I'm going to use you are, and then I can put on the inside anything. I can put amazing, I can put a happy birthday, you are good looking, that kind of thing. So I thought I could give myself a little bit of wiggle room, and for whatever occasion comes up. So I'm inking that up, and this is a photopolymer. I just about forgot. So I'm going to put a bit of a cushion underneath, because photopolymers stamps don't have a cushion. This just gives it, you get a little better impression when you use a cushion there. And then the stamp set also has these splotches. You know how I love my splotches. So I am going to ink. No, I'm going to, yeah, I'll do it now. I'm going to ink up my splotches. I'm going to stamp them off once because I just want them gently in the background, just a soft background. Oh, sure, we'll stick some right in there. There we go. And then we can close that up. No, we're not. We're going to leave it open. Now I want to paint this, do the watercolor painting. So I'm going to bring in my water painters. So your water painters come in a package of 3, and they're 3 different sizes. There's this size that's like when you want to get a whole sheet of paper or a whole panel of paper wet, you can use that. Or there are 2 smaller brush ones. We're going to use this one here. Now how it works is you can, guess I better be in camera. You can unscrew this and fill the barrel with water and then do it up. And then you can, I'll just bring one of these in. And you can put the cap on the top if you're somebody who likes to do that. So you don't, and then you squeeze a little bit and you get water coming just like that. So, but we need a little bit of color, right? We can't watercolor with just water. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my clear blocks, and it can be any clear block, and I'm going to put color on it. So I'm going to put some soft suede on one end here. I'll bring this in so you can see. I'm going to put crushed curry on another end. So these are just like my little paint palettes. I could also have stuck it in here. And then on this one here, I'm going to put Poppy Parade. And these are the colors that are in the designer paper. So I'm just going to use, I just took the color, I selected the colors from the designer paper. Then I'll close these up and put them over here. Yes, you can see them, and bring this in. And now I'm going to pick up some of the yellow first, some of the crushed curry. I'm going to get some of the excess off. And oh, I think I will just, oh, I've got a bit too much there. Too much water. There we go. That's better. I'm just going to color these little gourds in. And if I want them more intense in color, I can pick up some more and come back. And I really very seldom watercolor because I don't feel very confident, but I find Stampin' Up stamps are easy to watercolor, and watercolor paper makes it that much easier as well. So now you can just clean them by doing a swish, swish, swish on here, or you can have a cloth and press out a little bit there. And I'm going to, no, actually, I did that too soon. I want a little bit more of the crushed curry. I'm going to just put bits and pieces of it on the leaves. I'm also going to do some Poppy Parade on the leaves, but there, sort of like that. So Right now it sort of looks like a mess, but actually I don't even mind that look. But let's clean that off. So I'm going to squeeze some water out. There we go. And I'm going to pick up some Poppy Parade. And let's see, there we go. And I'm just going to add it. And I'm not even filling in all the spaces. When I was experimenting earlier, I found I kind of liked that. Gave it a kind of a watercolor look, I guess. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Telling myself I'm a bit of an artist, right? So you can come back again and make some areas a little bit darker. And then what I'm going to do is squeeze that and get it fairly clean. And then just blend it a little bit more. And with watercolor paper, you're not going to get those little, you know, worn patches and where it kind of balls up a little bit or whatever. So there we've got it looking like that. So now we're just going to do a bit of the soft suede on the branch part. And I am getting this really wet. I need to dry it out a little bit there. And let's try, yeah, there we go. So now I'm just coming down here. And although it's tempting because it's so much fun, you want to keep going, I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to clean my brush by just squeezing water through it like that. And I have my cloth here. I'm cleaning it there. And then I'm ready for the next time that I do some water painting. So we've got it just like that. These, to clean these, I just run them under the tap. So we'll put those to the side, and we've got our focal point done now. So let's bring in some pieces. So what I could do is I could take my designer paper and run it down like this. Well, I guess what first of all I could do is just put it on there, but I like to dress it up a little bit. I could put some soft suede underneath it. I could go like that. I could have a piece that's the same size and just offset it like that too. So you can just start experimenting and see what looks good to you. So if I have this, and I put this on here, that would look pretty good too. Actually, I don't mind that at all. It's got a nice rich look. Or I could bring in some basic white. That's just 1/4 inch smaller. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. And do the same thing there. Like that. So we're getting a different look altogether. Or we could bring in another piece. So this is sort of a what if I kind of thing. So this is again 1/4 inch smaller. So this one is 3 3/4 by 5. So it's got the 2 layers. And we put this here and this here, and we're getting fancy schmancy, aren't we? There we go. Or what if we used an embossing folder on this one? So let's put this aside. And if I brought in this new embossing folder, and this is called Fall Leaf 3D. It is in the new mini catalog, and it is just like this. So you can arrange your embossing folder in here so that you just catch the top corner. You can arrange it so it's sort of diagonally across like that, or you can switch your paper around and have it go like that. Because the leaves are falling, they're all topsy-turvy. It doesn't really matter. So what I did is I put this in so that the leaves are kind of going diagonally. So it just adds a bit of texture. If you've been following me on Facebook, you know that I have been using this embossing folder a lot. I am quite liking it. I'm kind of hooked on it. So that's what we're going to bring in. So let's see now. If we did this, we did that. I quite like having the 2 layers of white. We really wouldn't even have to use the designer paper if we didn't want to, but I kind of like that too. So we'll bring this in. So I'm going to have to cut this down to 5 inches. Bring in my my paper trimmer. It is 2 inches wide. Yes, 2 inches wide. So there it is, just like that. And let's start sticking some things together. All right, we'll bring in our liquid glue. Whew, this one must be a new one. It's really flowing. And we're going to put that here. Sometimes it's just easier if you have grid paper, or I have the grid board here, to go like that. Okay. There we go. Seems to be just a tad longer. Sometimes that happens when you, it just depends where on the trimmer you put your stuff. So we'll just give it a little haircut. There we go. So we've got it looking like that. Now we're going to stick this to the next piece. Right here. There, we've got it. And I'm going to stick it down just flat on here. So we've taken it up a few steps. We could have kept this card nice and simple and it would have looked just great. We're just taking it up a few steps, and now we're going to fasten these 2 together. So the soft suede is just the next one up with the deckled rectangles. So we've got it looking like that, and it's going to go on here. Before we fasten it on, I just want to play a little bit and see if we want to dress it up or leave it as is. So we've got some linen thread, and what if we had a bit of linen thread? I wonder if it should come out. I'm just going to hold it on this side or on this side. Doesn't want to cooperate. I think I want a little bit coming out here. So to do that, how I like to do it, everybody does their own thing, is I like to run a bit of the seal there, and then I can put it down and pull it off and play around a little bit. So let's see, we're going to loop 1. See, I'm just sticking it into the seal. And then we'll do another one. And I want it to look a little bit sloppy. So I think it needs, maybe that's a bit big. See, because it's just the dry tape, you can pull it off and try something different. Let's see. It's not making me happy. When I was playing before I started the video, I think maybe I've got this too big. It just kind of went in place perfectly. And of course, now that I'm on video, it's not doing quite what I envisioned. There we go. Maybe like that. Then I'll bring in some dimensionals and just glue that down. I put some right over top of the linen thread to hold it even more firmly in place. Oh, I'm going to do a bit more down here. There we go. Take the backings off. Something looks crooked on here. I'll have to address that later. Now I can put it on straight, or if I'm thinking that some other things look like they're out of whack, I could do this and make it a little bit crooked, and then it makes everybody's eyes play tricks. So that's what I'm going to do. Now there's also in the new mini catalog, there are some adhesive-backed sequins, and the colors they come on are Sweet Sorbet, Garden Green, Gold, and White. And I thought the gold might tie in with this. So do you ever do that? Just take your embellishments and sort of travel around your work. So let's see, that might be a bit big. I'm just going to rest it. Then I will decide later. Okay, I like that up there. Again, I am just resting it so that I can change it up if I so choose. I think I'm going to save that for another project, and I'm just going to put one. I'm going to stay right there, keep it simple, just like that. Now, for the inside, what we could do, we could bring in somewhat basic white, like that. We could stamp our image on there and color it, or we could bring in some more of that designer paper and run it down here. This one, thought I had a long one here. What did I do with it? Just pretend that it's a long one. I will work with this size just like that and bring that in here, but the paper kind of gets lost. So then I thought, well, what if I do one like this and put this here, and then I could still stamp one of these, maybe. Like it on the right. Like it on, you like it like this, Karen? Like that? Is that what you're saying? So some of you say, well, I don't know how to spend $60. Well, let me just share. If you bought the Deckled Rectangles, they're $41. If you bought the water painters, they're $18. This combined is $59. So you could just add some dimensionals or something and you would be at $60. But you, the fluid watercolor paper is $12.25. Whoops, I see that I just spelled envelopes incorrectly. Let's put the little E in there. There we go. The linen thread, the adhesive-backed sequins, the leaf falling 3D embossing folder, the dimensionals in your envelopes, and you would have actually $120 right there, and you would be able to get either two $60 items for free or one of the 120. So just be thinking about that when you are looking at your orders. If you are close to either 60 or 120 or any multiples of that, you can always add envelopes or dimensionals or little things like that to take it up and get some of that free stuff. The other thing to remember, and I will talk about this a whole lot more in the coming days, if you gather a few friends together and host a party, and it comes to $375, I believe it is. Yeah, $375 in merchandise before shipping and handling. Over and above all your free stuff that you get, you would get this stamp set here, which is really, really neat. Or if you want to sign up to be a demonstrator, you get it's always the best deal in the book, and you get $165 worth of product for $135. Any product you want. Then during celebration, over and above that, you get this wonderful planner. So here it is, open to the page here. You get these notebooks. You get a stamp set that coordinates with that, but it also goes with, you can use it for all kinds of other things. You get all of these inserts for your planner. It is a gorgeous thing. So if you're ever wanting to have the best deal in the book, whether you want it just for that, or if you want it to start to be a demonstrator, remember Stampin' Up says you can do it however you want. This is something to consider. So be thinking about that. And I've heard some of you say, well, I was a demonstrator, but now I'm not. Can I sign up again? Yes, you can sign up again even if you stopped being a demonstrator the end of June or the end of July, and you can sign up again in August. Remember, celebration goes until the end of August. So they're fine. And Stampin' Up, they don't blink an eye. Lots of people do it. You're free to do that. So take a look. See what you want to order, and then make the best decision for you. And remember, if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and would like one, I would be glad to help you out. You can either contact me and I can help you place your order, or you can shop online by going here and clicking Shop Now. If your order is under $200, if you could use this hostess code, that would be great. Once you reach the $200 mark, you get free stuff called Stampin' Rewards. So you get stuff already. But otherwise, this puts everybody sort of in one party so that we can combine some of the orders. So I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, if you have questions, contact me. Thank you so much for jumping on right when we're here today. And if you're watching the replay, remember to leave a comment as well so I know you watched it. If you're watching on YouTube, remember, leave a comment, click that thumbs up button or the like or subscribe button, pardon me, and that would be great. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the button, I think it's called like, so that you can follow along. And even pop over to my Facebook group, because over there I've been sharing some other celebration things. So have a great rest of your Canada Day weekend. I hope it dries out a little bit and we can all be outside. Thanks for joining me. And once more, here is the card we made using the 3 different celebration items. The paper, stamps, 2 stamp sets. All right, take care everyone, and bye-bye.